MSI, Music Scene Investigation, is on the air. Thanks to everyone for being here. Today is the day we have our annual awards. That's right. It's something we don't do. Thank you very much for that fanfare, by the way. Something we don't do every day. We do it once a year. We do it near the anniversary date of MSI, and believe it or not, that date is just a couple of days away. We will begin our 4th year on the air. Very cool stuff. I'm glad to hear that. What about you, Ian? How are you?
Is it 3 years we've done now?
Yeah, we started, you and I started planning this whole shindig back in 2010. And we actually began broadcasting on the 16th, I believe, of January 2011.
And we've all survived 3 years.
Yeah, barely.
Well, barely.
Barely. Yeah, and that's what we should say is Tom will not be with us today. Tom is in the hospital. He sent an email earlier saying he was being held for ransom by the nurses there. Apparently, they've taken such a liking to him, they won't let him go from the hospital. And that's where he's at right now, Ian.
That's really going to annoy him because he sent me an email yesterday saying that he couldn't allow me to have any more airtime than I've deserved.
Well, I don't know what to tell you about that. I guess I'll just keep the camera on me.
Doesn't stop me speaking, though, does it?
Yeah,
no.
Well, I have a mute button over here, but I haven't quite figured out which one's yours yet.
Best you don't do that. Just mute Tom.
Yeah, I've got Tom muted already. So, for today, I think it's going to work.
He's not in the hospital at all, is he, Rich? You just got him on mute and haven't called him.
No, he is in hospital. And we wish him well and certainly hope that he is released and finds his way home very quickly. And until that takes place, it'll be Ian and I today on the broadcast. We have a busy day today. Chances are this broadcast is going to be very quick today. It'll probably last an hour and a half, 2 hours instead of your regular 1 hour. Wait a minute. I think I messed the math up there someplace. Ian, why don't you help me out and tell me a little bit about what we're going to be doing today?
I'm not going to help you out because you're digging yourself a fine enough hole as it is, Rich.
Well, you can.
But I'll tell you what we are. One of the first things we're going to do today is obviously, for those people that know, over the course of the year, we review about 4 or 5 bands a month, depending on how the Sundays fall. And then from that, we do our hit list, which is our band of the month. So we go from Song of the Week, Band of the Month, and obviously the natural progression there is to go to Artist of the Year. So we're going to be sort of talking a bit about our Artist of the Year this year. Interesting year this year, and it's not necessarily going to be the chatter with Artist of the Year that people are expecting. So looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And also,
it'll definitely be interesting.
We're going to be awarding this little beauty. If you can see that.
Are you sure you can handle that with one hand? It looks awfully heavy.
This is no expense spent. I mean, no expense spared. That was the one. I'll just see if can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. This is our Guest of the Year award. And our guests all went to the polls, all the guests that we've had on during 2013. And we've come up with the definitive winner. And ladies and gentlemen, it is not Paul Miro, who has basically been our best guest for the previous 2 years.
That's very true. We have a new Panelist of the Year. And I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and make the award now, Ian?
I think we should. I will get ready to present.
And we'll bring our panelist in. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2013 Panelist of the Year, Miss Susie Chase. Hey, Susie, how are you?
Hey!
Great to see you. How are things with you? And congratulations.
Thank you. This is so exciting. And Happy New Year and Happy Anniversary. And what a surprise. I want to thank you guys, and I want to thank my supportive community at thegrooveradio.com.
Well, definitely. I'll tell you, you had a lot of votes. Congratulations on that. I think everybody out there just loves you, and we're glad to have you as part of the panel on MSI. So thanks for doing that.
Thank you. It's always fun.
And she's a lot better looking than Paul.
And Tom.
And Tom, yeah.
Poor Tom.
No. Don't feel sorry for Tom, whatever you do. Tom is able to handle himself. He can hold his own, that's for sure. So, okay.
And often does.
Yeah, he does. That's
Hey,
wrong.
Rich.
That's just wrong, Ian. You shouldn't say stuff like that.
What?
Tom, never mind. I'm not even going to go back to that. All right, Susie, I got a question for you. Now, thegrooveradio.com is where everybody can go find out about everything that you do. And I know you put on a great Saturday night show at the Trophy Room. Am I right?
Trophy bar.
The Trophy Bar. They
Yeah.
should have do they have a trophy room at the Trophy Bar?
They have rooms at Trophy Bar and trophies, but not a trophy room.
They should make a trophy room and then just dedicate it to your trophy that you're going to be receiving.
I'm so excited about that trophy. By the way, where's your Vera Wang?
I have my Vera Wang on. I didn't wear the bow tie, but yeah, it is what it is.
Well remembered,
Just checking.
Susie. Well remembered.
I'm surprised anybody remembers that. At least Ian didn't. So,
I put it out of my mind as soon as you started talking about Wang.
I'm glad somebody did. I'm glad you did. All right, now, Susie, tell everybody out there who, and obviously there aren't many people out there who are unfamiliar with you based upon the voting we saw, but tell everybody out there about thegrooveradio.com and what it is that you do.
Well, I have the longest running #1 soul music podcast. I curate soul music. I love rare grooves. My very favorite year is 1982. And I have a DJ residency at Trophy Bar in Brooklyn where I record my sets and make them into podcasts.
And you have a lot of people show up at these broadcasts that you do, that you create into podcasts. And now, have you considered going live and doing a live broadcast?
I would love that. I am a bit technically challenged. So, Rich, if you'd like to bring your Vera Wang to New York City and figure it out. But yeah, I'm definitely going to tackle that this year.
Well, I certainly hope so. I think that would be a great way to get the music out there. And considering, what you do and how you do it there at the Trophy Lounge, I think it would be an awesome the Trophy Bar. I'm going to call them everything but the Trophy Bar. I'm going to call them the Trophy Lounge, the Trophy Room, anything else I can think of. And I hope they don't hate me because of that. But I'll tell you, any way that you can get the music out there and remind people, of all the great soul music that is out there is a great thing to do. Bring it up on Google+. That'd be a great place for it.
I do.
Do the live broadcast through the Hangouts.
Oh, the live on Google+. Yeah, that's a good tip. A good tip for 2014.
I think it would be great. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll be your technical advisor, able to help you out technically. So, all right, now, congratulations. How is this trophy, how is winning this award going to change what you do and how you do it and how you approach the rest of the world, Susie?
This is going to make me more of a humanitarian, this trophy. I'm going to be more, no, I'm kidding. No, this is exciting. It's funny because I do a lot of things kind of outside of the microphone. People don't ever really see me. I don't talk. I just kind of do the music and I let the music speak for itself. So this is stepping out of my comfort zone a bit, and it's exciting to get a trophy for it.
Now, of course, you're going to take this trophy and display it on your kit, on your setup right there during your show, right?
I will. I will have a special case made for it so I can travel with it.
Awesome. And we are looking forward to seeing the photos of that, of course, as well.
Obviously, I'll be sending it under lock and key with a personal security guard from England to New York. So we hope there's no security problems with that.
I don't think there should be. I mean, you're sending the big guy, right?
Yeah, we obviously he's going to be armed, so I don't know how he's going to get through Heathrow yet, but we'll work that out.
Yeah, send him on a boat.
On a boat?
Yeah, there's no problem with a boat.
On a boat.
To New York? Do we still have boats to New York from here?
I don't know. Do they, Susie?
The Titanic?
Yeah, we tried that once.
Yeah, don't do the Titanic one, but a different boat. Perhaps a boat with a different name, Ian.
Smell ice, can you? Bleeding hills.
All right. Now, I'm just going to ignore that. I don't know what he said. Do you have any idea?
I've got a horrible sinking feeling.
Yeah, it's the accent. I think it throws me, Susie. I don't know.
Me too.
Yeah. So there you are, Ian. All right. Now, seriously, Susie, I mean, this award is a small token of obviously our appreciation and the fans' appreciation, everybody who watches the broadcast, of the great job you do, the personality you bring to the broadcast. And it's obviously better than mine or Ian's or Tom's.
Oh, no.
Well, think about this, though, for just 1 second. Let me try and put this in perspective. Ian doesn't have one of those awards. Tom doesn't.
I've got two of them.
I don't. Yeah, but they're not yours.
There is that.
See? So Ian, Tom, or I don't have one of those awards for keeps, and you do, so that says a lot.
Well, I'm flattered.
Well, we're glad.
Thank you.
Why?
This is awesome. I'm so happy.
What do you make of the show, Susie? I mean, we need to do an extra with you at some point in time where we actually sit down and do a proper interview. But one thing we always ask on these extras is, what do you make of the show? How do you feel it contributes towards indie music these days?
Well, I love it because you can hear the new stuff that people are doing. And what's the best about this is the format. You can hear totally different songs from different artists, and you can vote on them. And you, in the public, can pick what you want to hear next. That's going to be the next big thing. So it's exciting. It's a great show.
Now, when you we always try and get everybody's idea on how we do things in the background, because we're not a typical broadcast, I wouldn't think, in that, our interface, our guests, our panelists use a different interface than what people might be familiar with or expect in a broadcast like what we do, because they have to hear the music in as best quality as we can get to them. So we have a special area on our site that our panelists go to actually listen to the music. And all they see is an item labeled Song 1, Song 2, and Song 3, and they play it whenever we play it for the audience. And the only time they hear it is when they do that. So the first time you were brought into as a panelist and saw our backstage setup, is our setup easy to use, Susie, or is it something that we need to work on? I'm curious.
No, I am. I'm not a technical person, as you know. So it was super easy. The thing, though, is as a panelist, it's scary because you're listening to it for the first time. So you're thinking, oh, am I going to have an idea about this? Am I going to have an opinion? But, with music, you always do. But the setup for a guest host is very easy.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad because, I worry about stuff like that because, as you say, you're not technically inclined. Some of our other panelists have not been technically inclined as well, and we work hard to keep it that way. Keep everything easy and easy to use as possible, I guess.
And how do you find the review process? I mean, you say about you thinking about, do you have an opinion on this song? And yes, you always have an opinion on this song. But, I mean, how do you find that, listening to it for the first time and trying to give an honest, constructive opinion rather than just going, yeah, I liked it or I didn't?
Well, I feel because we can't listen to the songs beforehand, that you kind of get the most authentic opinion listening to it that very first time. So you kind of have to stick with that and then speak on your firsthand opinion. And it's usually the most honest.
That's exactly what we wanted to hear. Works for me, right? I'm convinced, Rich. Let's carry on this thing.
All right. Go ahead and give her the award, Ian. Hand it over to her.
Right, can you reach? It's going to be a bit of a long reach for me, I'm afraid. But there we go.
Go ahead and grab that there, Susie.
There you go. See, what we need to do is we need to get a replica made up. So then Susie could have had that on a shelf behind a camera, taking it off, and that would look fantastic.
If we would have been smart and thought ahead, we would have. I'll tell you what we'll do, Susie. When you get the award, do a reverse of what Ian just did. Do one of these.
I will.
And then send me video of it, and we'll edit it and post.
Okay.
It'll look awesome. And no one will be any the wiser. It's the great thing
It'll
about
look so real.
Yeah, it's the great thing about internet. No one can see everything at once, and they'll never know.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you'd like to say to everybody out there who voted for you, Susie, before we let you go for the day?
I just want to say I'm so thankful for your support, and keep listening to thegrooveradio.com and MSI Weekly. And thank you.
Thank you, Susie. It's great, and congratulations. We just are pleased as punch that you won. It's not that we don't like Paul Miro, but I got to tell you, you're a lot easier on the ice than he is.
Thank you. Sorry, Paul.
I'm going to make sure he watches this episode.
I know we're going to be fast friends. I can feel it.
Paul's a great guy. There is no doubt about it. But I'll tell you what, Susie, hang in there as we move on here. One of the things we want to do is remind everybody of some of the songs that got the most votes for our Artist of the Year. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking and playing the top 3 artist songs from the vote count in this year's voting. And we're going to start that off with a song that was a hit list winner in January of 2013. Shell sings for you and her song Something Beautiful right now on Music Scene Investigation. So we're going to play that for you right now. Please enjoy it, everyone.
It feels like I've known you my whole life, and you're the only one who knows my head to my toes. So stand by my side and be forever mine, 'cause the secret's out on our love. Can I borrow you for a lifetime or two? Ooh, let's make something beautiful and let the sun shine in and seal us with a kiss. Ooh, let's make something beautiful. Whoa, oh. The best parts of me, you see them, and every little bit is yours. Every day and every night, you're the only single solitary thing on my mind. So let's wrap it up in a bow, tie a knot, spin it round, see where it goes. Let's fall free, just you and just me. Can I borrow you for a lifetime or two? Make something beautiful and let the sun shine in and seal us with a kiss. Ooh, let's make something
That Shell sings for you with Something Beautiful. That is the first of the 3 top vote getters we're going to be playing on today's show. Ian, of course you remember Michelle and Something Beautiful, correct?
I do. And I was just saying in the chat room, it's a happy little ditty and it's got a nice vibe to it. And Pink thinks it will play well on the ukulele, which I think's a very good thing. I was just asked Shell for the chords. I was going to try and see if I could work it out quickly on the uke, but
you should.
She hasn't got back to me yet.
You should. You know. I think the chords are S for something, B for beautiful.
Yeah, you leave other people to the music, Rich.
I think there's
not a chord S.
Then why is it capitalized in the title?
That's just correct English, which obviously being American you wouldn't know about.
Ah, well. You got me there. I guess not. Anyway, if you're wondering...
Taking the U's out of words. What's that all about?
I don't know. If you're wondering why you're not seeing Mr. Tom Chianti today and just joined us, Tom is being held ransom. We're actually going to have a fundraiser as soon as this broadcast is over so we can make the ransom.
Pink was saying earlier that he's been gambling with some nurses and got himself in some debt.
Would not surprise me a bit. Would not surprise me. I've got to figure out how to turn your camera off.
About. She's right, you know.
Is that's the B or the S chord? All right. We know you can play the ukulele. It's okay. It's all right. Now we're gonna get
Pinky was right. I'm just proving a point.
Okay. Well, are you happy now?
Yeah.
All right. Good. Let's move on to our next song from 2013's hit list winners. This is back in July. The July hit list winner was Lockstar. Dylan Lockstar and his song called Killer and Sin. So let's take a listen to that. Ian, what do you think?
I think we should. Does it work well on the ukulele?
I don't know. Try it and we'll figure it out as we go. All right, here it is. This is Killer and Sin by Lockstar.
He grabs the bottle. Yeah. He grabs the bottle with a grin. 'Cause in this battle, there's a killer. And in this battle, there's a sin. It's not my turn. No, 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 be another victim of defeat. Maybe I'll drink tomorrow. Maybe I'll pass the bottle and pour the killer in the sin. 'Cause there was a time before you when everyone did what you do. But I think I won't do the same. Takes advantage of his life. 'Cause hell's a mystery that it used to be. And he's not coming home tonight. And it's not my turn. No, 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 to be another victim of defeat. Yeah, maybe I'll drink tomorrow. Maybe I'll pass the bottle and pour the killer in the sin. maybe I'll pass the bottle and pour the killer in the soup. Yeah. 'Cause there was a time before you when everyone did what you do, but I think I won't do the same.
Killer in Sin, that is Lockstar on the MSI Award broadcast. Ian, I know you remember that one as well. I like that song a lot.
I do as well. It's got that sort of modern day singer-songwriter vibe about it. You know, people like Dave Matthews and John Mayer and stuff like that. Not necessarily in production, but just in the songwriting and the feel of the voice and everything like that. And I like that. It's got a lot of time for it.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things I like about MSI and what we do here that doesn't get spoken about a lot is that every week we have, and every year we have so many different genres of music that get played on the program and that compete against each other, not only in the hit lists, but also in the annual awards broadcast as well. And just a case in point, just the difference between Michelle's and Something Beautiful and Lockstar's Killer in Sin are a nice case in point, I think.
Definitely, but two songs that stand up well against each other.
I agree.
Just from a point of view of writing, yes, style, genre, production, arrangements and that are different, but two very strong songs which work very well, you know, and you can listen to them together and it works, which is, again, is another nice thing about the show. It's not just, it's, you know, the different genres sometimes work happily together just because they're good songs.
I definitely agree with you, and I should remind everybody, or at least let everybody know now, that throughout the year, our hit list broadcasts are sponsored by the Live to Play Network. The guys and gals over at the Live to Play Network are great in helping us out, not only sponsoring the hit list, but also by allowing Robert Lindquist, who's one of the gurus over there at the Live to Play Network, to actually sit on our panel every month and help us find a hit list winner. And they've been gracious enough to provide an award prize for our Artist of the Year this year as well. And
I don't think it really exists, Rich.
Why not? Why is that?
Well, think about it.
I haven't told anybody what it is yet.
I know, but I don't think it exists. People have been looking for it for a long time.
All right, well, let's figure this out. The guys and gals of the Live to Play Network have offered up a Yeti microphone from Blue to our Artist of the Year winner, along with the other contents of the award, not to mention the trophy that goes. You saw a trophy earlier. The Artist of the Year trophy is very similar to that in that the plaque is different. And
it says something different.
It says something different, exactly. The plaque is different, but I think that's, you know, that coupled with everything else is a great award package for the Artist of the Year as well. And so we'd like to thank the guys and gals over at the Live to Play Network for their sponsorship of the hit list and everything they do for us here at Music Scene Investigation. Ian, we have one more song I want to take a listen to before we discuss the Artist of the Year award. This is a song from Jimmy Mowry in November. It won the hit list. And this song is called This Is War. And we'll talk more about it when we get back from listening to it. Everybody, This Is War by Jimmy Mowry on Music Scene Investigations Award Show.
When you woke up this morning, tell me, how did you feel? Do you like what you're seeing when you look in the mirror? Was it worth all the trouble? Are you afraid to come home? Yeah, we built it together. Hope you like it alone. 'Cause it's done, it's done, it's done, it's done, I'm done. It's not alright, I'm not okay. I couldn't hate you more than I do today. We had it all and you threw it away. say everything that you cared for, sweetheart. Yeah, it's all in your name. No, I'm not gonna worry. You got it all figured out. You made your bed with another, so you can lay in it now. 'Cause it's done, it's done, it's done, it's done, I'm done. It's not alright, I'm not okay. I couldn't hate you more than I do today. We had it all and you threw it away. Hope you're drowning in this mess you made. You think that you have been through hell before. Well, baby, this is war. You can sleep then, I hope you're dreaming of what we had, and you can feel it deep inside you. Let it remind you every day of what you did. If you can sleep then, I hope you're dreaming of what we had, and you can feel it deep inside you. Let it remind you every day of what you did, because it's done. Oh, I'm done. It's not alright, I'm not okay. I couldn't hate you more than I do today. We had it all and you threw it away. Hope you're drowning in this mess you made. It's not alright, I'm not okay. I couldn't hate you more than I do today. We had it all and you threw it away. Hope you're drowning in this mess you made. You think that you have been through hell before. No, you think that you have been through hell before. Well, baby, this is war.
That's Jimmy Mowry and his track, This Is War, on the hit list, our MSI award show. I think we do so many shows, I get them all mixed up, Ian.
We don't, Rich. We only really do 3 shows, and one of them's only once a year.
And we do one once a month, the second Wednesday of every month, and then one 4 times a month. It gets confusing.
It's not really that hard, Richard.
It is very difficult. Very difficult for me to keep track of stuff. I'm old.
Oh, bless him. Hang about. Look, the smallest violin in the world. Look, can you hear that? No, it's too small.
No, I can't. I can't. I was hoping that was the smallest ukulele in the world.
I don't think this song would work too well on ukulele.
It might not. But Jimmy Mowry has a very polished sound, as all of the top 3 vote getters during the Artist of the Year voting did. And, I mean, obviously, in my mind, a tough decision for anybody to have to make. And, you know, I've got to say something about the votes. The sheer number of votes that the Artist of the Year award received just blew me away.
Yeah, it blew me away as well. But, you know, these award shows, we always hope to be a happy occasion. And the last 2 years we've done this, it's been absolutely brilliant. We have a good response. We've had some good bands. We had some good feedback. And we thought, expected that this year would be the same.
Absolutely.
But it hasn't been, has it, Rich?
No, unfortunately, there has been a bit of controversy with regards to the Artist of the Year voting. And the voting, which opened in early November and closed in early January, was rife with a bit of controversy. We had emails come in about some voting anomalies, shall we say, that may have or may not have, actually, after further investigation, did take place. And to that end, I want to take a couple of seconds here and say a couple of things. First of all, to the people who vote out there, voting is something that we know. First of all, we know you love the artist you vote for. Don't get us wrong. We have no argument there. Everybody should love and pull for the artist that they want to win. The problem is when you game the system or attempt to game the system. And in this case, we had a number of people who voted multiple times and who utilized what were voting bots in order to stuff the ballot, as was mentioned in the chat room. And believe me, they did stuff the ballot box a lot. So that being said, the number of votes this year far outweighed the number of voters by a magnitude of who knows, to be perfectly honest.
Stupidness, I think, is the word we're looking for.
Yeah, it really was. And
now, I want to clarify a few points that Rich is talking about here.
Let me finish my point. First of all, the artists themselves have a little bit of responsibility in this as well. It doesn't do an artist any justice if their fans conduct themselves in a way that's unbecoming the artist or the institution in which the artist is participating. And that being said, there is obviously no evidence that any artist was involved in any of the ballot box stuffing in any way, shape, or form. We couldn't prove that even if it were the case. But I do want to say that it does not reflect well on an artist when their fans act in such a way. That's my opinion and my opinion alone. Now, Ian, you had some points you want to make.
Well, this was mainly down to two bands, and that was our top two bands, which were Lockstar and Jimmy Mowry. And I've not got a problem with saying this. I mean, we've invited all three back to the show today, including Shell Sings For You, who had the third amount of votes by a lot. You know, the difference between third and second was absolutely huge. We're going on 30,000 votes nearly for the first place. And we received a lot of emails, as Rich said, from people asking about this, to which, we had several responses, and Rich and I talked about this a lot because we want this to be fair. We do this every week in an effort to help indie artists get out there, get seen, and be a part of something that, the indie music scene is growing, and we hope to be a part of that along with the artists as well. And some of the emails that came in from some of the fans that we were talking to weren't very nice. And I'm not going to name what band they were associated with.
Now, we understand that fans are enthusiastically supportive of the artists they support.
We do, but we also don't accept threats. And, one of these so-called fans was basically threatening to sully our name across the internet every day on every website they trod upon, in not so many words, which, if they really want to go and do that, I've not got a problem. Please include the URL, because any publicity is good publicity. You go ahead and say what you want about us. But the point being is that you're really not helping your artist by threatening the websites that are trying to help them, that are, giving away things like, hundreds of dollars worth of microphones, good promotional packages, and good opportunities. So, very not impressed this year with the way people responded. And the emails that we were receiving, the people that were sending them were the people that were putting in multiple votes on both sides. We received emails from both bands' fans talking about this, and, we can track IP addresses and stuff like that. And we know for a fact that the people who were complaining were actually the people who were doing the multiple voting.
Yeah, and it's not a pretty thing to have happen any way you look at it. And we did want to mention that, and we were asked many times by many different people how we were going to rectify and take care of this situation. And Ian and I and Tom have discussed it at length a number of times since it was brought to our attention early on. And we decided that, number one, during the voting process, during the voting period, we were going to let the votes decide what was going to happen and see and watch and see how the voting went on. And it was obvious after checking IP numbers and things like that, it was just ludicrously out of control. At that point, we then decided to take the situation into our own hands, which is what we're doing now, with regards to the Artist of the Year winning announcement. What we're planning on doing as of right now, and this is the way it stands, is the top 3 vote getters in our vote for Artist of the Year, as you've just heard. Shell Sings For You, Michelle Locke, Killer in Sin with Lockstar, and This Is War with Chris Mowry. What we're going to do, rather than award an Artist of the Year award to anyone, regardless of the vote number reflected on the current awards page voting area, is just throw all those votes away, because they are tainted and, in my mind, don't make a hill of beans worth of difference.
No, not really.
So,
it's, we've had a lot of people suggest that we go through and count unique IPs and stuff like that. But even with the amount of votes that have come in and the way it's been done, that has become beyond impossible for Rich and I to sit through the back end of our website, working all that out.
Yeah,
so there is no way of taking the numbers that we've got and working that out. And this is down to the people who are complaining, making multiple votes. So what we're going to do, Rich?
Well, what we're going to do is the following. We're going to take and have a special show where we're going to allow our 3 top vote getters from this year's Artist Award vote, Michelle Locke, Lockstar, and Chris Mowry, have their own song showcased in that broadcast. These 3 songs you just heard will be played once again. And then directly after that show, we're going to open up a voting area. This voting area will be open for a short period of time. Ian?
We're talking 10 minutes.
And after that period of time has elapsed, we will announce the highest vote getter live on the broadcast.
And we're going to lock it down as hard as we can from the point of view there will only be 1 vote per IP address. So if you've got 3 or 4 people on different computers on the same IP address, you might want to tell them to use their 3G on their iPhone or something like that to vote, because you'll only be able to vote once from that IP address. And you're going to have to tune in to the broadcast and show your faithfulness to your artist there and then. It's the only fair way of doing it. It's transparent. People can see it happening as it happens. And we will basically take 10 minutes out of the broadcast, we'll play some music, and then we'll come back and we will announce the winner at the end of the show.
Yeah. And of course, we want to take this opportunity to apologize to the viewing public, the fans of the broadcast who came here today expecting to see an award made to the Artist of the Year, a name actually announced. And we certainly hope you understand that that we just can't do that after some bad apples ruined the whole batch. And we just want to make sure that we handle things as fairly and, as Ian said, as transparently as possible, which is why we're going to do what we're going to do. So please, at this point, stay tuned. Ian, do you want to go ahead and announce a show date now?
I reckon we give it 2 weeks. We'll do a normal show next week, and the week after that, we'll do the reissue of the Artist of the Year. I think that gives the artists 2 weeks to pull their fans together, do a bit of social networking to get people together, and that way we've got a realistic chance of getting a real vote.
All right, so what we'll do then, let me just pull my calendar up here, is on the 26th of February, the 26th of January, the last Sunday of January, we'll have a special broadcast in which we'll feature Something Beautiful by Shell Sings For You, Killer in Sin by Lockstar, and This Is War by Chris Mowry, and have everybody who is wanting them as the Artist of the Year giving them a chance to vote, a window in which to make their votes, and we'll announce that winner live after it takes place. We'll have a window open for that to take place. Anything else we need to say, Ian, regarding this situation?
No, not really. I mean, it just, we have to do it this way. And if we decided to count IP addresses and release put a release out saying so-and-so had won, either way, with the situation we're in, it was going to be sour apples. This is the only fair way we can do this. So get your fans together, people, and let's get those live votes going and get a true, transparent Artist of the Year. We want this to be a good thing, and we want people to have all the opportunities they've had to win this mic, come on the broadcast and sit with us and talk to us about all of this. So, get it together, people.
I absolutely agree, and we look forward to bringing you that live vote and announcement of the Artist of the Year when that takes place. Again, that's the 26th of January. It will be at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and actually the Super Bowl doesn't start until February 2nd, I think. So it's not 26th of January, I don't think, Michelle. I'm pretty sure about that. So, anyway, you should be all right.
I would know, I'm English.
Yeah, you're English. You should be all right in regards to that. It'll be 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 26th January, when we'll have that show with the live vote for the Artist of the Year. Tell your fans, tell your family, everyone you know, show up, make your votes count, and like I said, and like Ian said, we're going to lock it down as much as we possibly can because we don't want another fiasco and people been out of shape because they could only vote once and weren't able to vote multiple. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, thank you very much, Ian, for helping me clarify that.
No, thank you, Richard. I mean, it is a shame it's had to come to this year. I was rather looking forward to tonight to introducing who the band was, but also, I think it is fair, and I think it's a lot fair on Shell as well, who's joined us in the chat today, because she really was blown out the water with ridiculous numbers.
I would agree with that. And on that note, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up this award-winning broadcast for today with a big congratulations to Susie Chase. TheGrooveRadio.com. Please check her out at TheGrooveRadio.com. Also, you can follow her over on Google+. Just add Susie Chase to your circles there. She's a great person, has a lot of interesting things to say as well. Ian, anything to say before we go?
Wibble.
All right, Tommy, that is the key word you'll have to remember for next week's show when you get back with us. Wibble. I have no idea.
I've got nothing to say besides tune in next week for more MSI exciting installments of indie music.
All right. Thanks for being here, everybody. We'll talk to you at that time. Until then, have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.